All right, guys, are we pumped? Are we excited? In less than an hour's time, literally 51 minutes from me recording this video, we are going to be getting the Dokkan Fest Omega Shenron and Carnival LRSJ for Gogeta drop into Dokkan. You can let me know down in the comments who you'll be summoning for first. I can probably take a guess who the resounding unit will be. Gogeta. Cough, cough. I can't wait. I can't wait. But we are going to squeeze this video in. I'm going to combine two of the videos together, which is essentially going over their kits properly and their data download video into one. So as always, I will leave the link down in the description for Proton. Absolute legend in the community. Appreciate you a lot, King. So of course, from this data download, we are getting both Gogeta and Omega added to the game. Still really, I guess, curious. I was going to say confused, but more so curious as to why both Part 1 units were Strength, and then Gogeta and Shenron are AGL and Fizz. So I'm a little bit confused and a little bit baffled as to why they decided to go for that, but it is what it is. Of course, as we've already seen from the Dokkan Now reveal stream, we're getting stage number 4 for the Shadow Dragons of Despair. And then also we're going to be getting Special Battle 2025 stages 3 and 4, which Omega looks... he looks scary. Even without seeing how much damage he does, he locks, he stuns on super attack, and he has an AoE. So he's basically a 2025 beefed up version of Red Zone Omega from back in the day. We're getting more banner assets, unique titles, tickets, and new idol animations as well. A lot of this stuff, as I said, we've already seen during the Dokkan Now. Here are the banners, by the way. Of course, there are going to be some more featured units, but here are the advertised ones. Of course, we've got that side banner Pan, who, by the way, with Gogeta leading GT Heroes, this Pan is actually probably the best side banner unit in the game. GT Heroes is probably up there now. It's one of the best categories in the game, especially because of Gogeta and all the other units alone, but she looks amazing. Of course, we've got Omega, we've got the Tech Super Saiyan Goku back from the 10th anniversary. We've got AGL Broly, and we've got Int Broly from Days of Future Past. Probably the wrong phrase, but the old school worldwide celebration, which just doesn't exist anymore. And then on the Carnival LR banner, I can't lie, this is looking stacked. Both Carnival LR banners have looked stacked. You've got Gogeta, who's easily the best unit in the game right now, with Carnival LRSJ for Goku. So by the way, if you don't have him and you want him, this Carnival LR banner has a ton of value for you. We also have SSJ2 Gohan, who I don't actually have, so getting him wouldn't be too bad for me, but I'm not gonna lie, I want some dupes in him, and of course, I want him. We've got Gohan from Worldwide, and of course, the Gammas, and there'll be more featured units. We have the unique title, which is what you get for clearing all stages of the Global Campaign Special Battle. I think it's pretty sick. The Chaos Shattering Power with both VB and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. It's just kind of funny how only one of these fusions are actually playable. We're also getting some more Dokkan Fest tickets for the Part 2 banners. The same with the premium ones. These are the paid for ones. And the same for the Carnival LR tickets as well. Here's a new idol animation for Omega Shenron. I quite like it. You know, it doesn't have the Super Saiyan Blue aura effect, but like the big green flash, as if you almost popped the flashbang from NW2. I'm kind of here for it. It does look pretty nice. It looks pretty sick. Reminds me of Dragon Thunder, unless that's actually what it's supposed to be. And that's pretty much everything that is in this data download. Of course, are we struggling here? Okay, I was gonna say I thought we were struggling. Of course, we already know when the banners are dropping. They are literally dropping in 46 minutes time. 46 minutes time to probably summon on two of the best banners I think we've ever gotten in Dokkan. But if we quickly take a look, because I don't really have much time to do this during the stream, Mega Shenron is leading Inhuman Deeds, Power Absorption, or GT bosses with Ki +3, HP +200%, and attack and defense by 170. The additional 50% goes to characters who belong to Shadow Dragon Saga, Worldwide Chaos, or Battle of Fate. Now, I did say, I think yesterday, I really didn't want them to give him GT bosses unless it went to the additional part of his passive. But considering he leads 3 categories and provides the extra 50% to 3 more categories, I can get on board with that. I'm fine with that. The good thing is, he actually does lead Carnival LR Rose, and he leads like a good mixture of units. 170 lead, 200% lead, or even the full 220, he leads a good amount of units. You know, not you. Definitely not you. We have LR Grade 8 Vegeta. I mean, the only thing that would let this team down a little bit is linking partners. But then we're getting a ton of Easy A's for part 2. Super Easy A Omega Shenron's coming. We're getting a ton of Easy A's from Int Super Baby 2 to the likes of Tech Sin. So hopefully they're really good so they can go on the category. But you've got Omega, you're going to run 2 of them. Carnival LR Rose. You've got the Broly units. I don't know how good they're going to be here, but don't forget, this would be a team where you have 2 Omega domains. Potentially his domain. Him. I mean, there's some pretty beefy units. Full Power Frieza potentially an option. In LR Rose was an option. I'm pretty sure his boost is gone now. You have the free-to-play Easy A LR Rose or Goku Black Zamasu unit. You actually have all the free-to-play Roses, which, I mean, they're amazing. So they're also in there as well. Fizz Rose, unfortunately not. I mean, he's pretty much a domain merchant. He's getting an Easy A. Of course, we just don't know his details just yet. And then, of course, there could be some more Easy A's coming. I mean, there probably is some more Easy A's coming. In SJ4 Gogeta being one of them. That will probably be revealed later on. I mean, there's some good units coming from Inhuman Deeds. I just like the fact that Carnival LR Rose and Shenron can also be on the same team. Not to mention, Shenron's probably one of the best supports. Best extreme support I think we've ever gotten in the game. So he's going to be giving a ton of support with also domains to all of these units, which are also going to help them out a ton. You know, you might be able to find some use out of Boo Tank, especially once you transform him and he has dodge. I mean, he has dodge anyway, but more dodge. Is there anyone else in power absorption that we could potentially use? I don't know. I'm not really seeing it. I mean, actually, no, this guy. Super Easy 8 Int Buhan is one of the major ones. He's still very, very good again, especially if you're getting the dodge off, which we are very much back in the dodge meta. It's just GT bosses, which is a bit lacking, but I mean, they're easying, so hopefully they're amazing. He's easying, so hopefully he's amazing. He's got the boost right now, so he's actually usable. You have this guy, which hopefully with all the support and the domain from him, hopefully this guy is going to be really, really, really good, especially with the skill orbs. And then not only that as well, he's also easying. So hopefully all these Easy A's are usable in some of the most difficult content, because at least that way we can really beef out the team. Because one thing that is for certain is, even though he does lead so many categories, which is a good thing, you don't really have many options. You don't really have many alternatives if you're missing some of these units. So right now, while we've got the boosts and everything, great. Once they're gone, I know we only lose 1 unit, but then once we found out the Easy A details as well, it all depends on how good those units are as well. Otherwise, we're going to have even less options to use. But the fact we got 2 of the best units in the game from him and also Carnivore LR Rose helps quite a lot. So in terms of 12 key super attack, he does raise defense by 30% and then greatly lowers enemies' attack and defense. On 18 key, he's greatly raising defense by 50% for 4 turns. That's really going to beef him out. It's also an AoE, which is nice, and also disables enemies' action once within the turn. Also, if you're still struggling to beat Rose and Zamasu and you end up pulling Omega, that AoE and having that disable action is actually going to be really handy, like really, really handy in doing damage to both of them and slowing their damage down. After you activate the entrance animation, when all allies are extreme class characters, which is primarily what you're going to run around Omega, so this is easy. Extreme class allies will have a chance to crit by 20% and randomly changes tech or AGL key spheres to rainbow key spheres only for 1 turn. And then Omega will have a guaranteed additional super attack and extreme class allies key +2 and 70% attack for 4 turns, which is really nice. And then he starts with key +3, 300% attack and defense, then receives an additional key +1 per key sphere obtained, 50% damage reduction, and will also rainbow change Fizz or Int key spheres to those rainbow orbs. So that means on his first appearance, you can actually rainbow orb change almost every orb on the field aside from strength orbs, which is kind of crazy to me, I'm not gonna lie. I know you can't pick all of them up because you can only pick up a maximum of 5 rainbow orbs, but then that still keeps the field or the orbs changed for other units on the rotation. So I just thought that was kind of crazy. Then with the rainbow keys for obtained, which you only need 1. You need one singular rainbow orb, which I mean, even after this 1 turn, he still does anyway, but you only need 1. And Omega will give extreme class allies 70% defense and an additional damage reduction rate of 10% for characters who also belong to the GT bosses category for 2 turns. Now, This is good. We just don't currently have a lot of GT boss unit options. Aside from himself, the friend Omega, who you may be bringing on the team as well, the boosted Super Baby 2, and again, it just all depends on how good all of these EZAs are going to be, if they also are going to factor into this as well. But another thing, again, combined with his entrance animation, you're looking at 70% defense from one singular rainbow orb, from a rainbow orb changer, and key +2 and 70% attack off his entrance animation for 4 turns. So for 4 turns, extreme class units are getting 70% attack, 70% defense, and key +2. Which is nuts. And then he also has a domain as well. So if you can get them all going together, that's a big amount of support that you're giving some of these units, which is why I think Omega is going to be a big help, especially while running 2 of them. 2 units like the free-to-play LR Nova, also the EZAs that are potentially coming as well, if they're not quite, you know, the mustard. So we'll see. Then when attacking, he does get attack +150 when key is 18 or more, another 150 attack when attacking, and then 150 defense when receiving an attack. Then when attacking with 24 key, guaranteed crit. Then when receiving unarmed super attacks, you have a 70% chance to nullify and counter with tremendous power. And then if you're below 70% HP or less, you will have a guaranteed nullify and counter, which is kind of huge with how hard these enemies are hitting nowadays. So not only is Omega supplying a lot of support, he has damage reduction. He also rainbow orb changes for himself, even though he only has 1 orb needed. He does get quite a bit of defense. He has an AoE. He disables an enemy action. He's just a bit of a nuisance to enemy bosses. Like, he is just a bit of a nuisance. Then after performing 5 or more attacks in battle, extreme class allies key +2 and a chance to crit at 20%. Then randomly changes tech or AGL key spheres to rainbow orbs, starting from the character's next attack in turn. So he ends up becoming a double rainbow orb changer again. Not that he needed to be one again, because again, he only needs 1 singular rainbow orb, but he does. His active skill, of course, he creates the domain. This can be activated when there is another Inhuman Deeds, Power Absorption, or GT Bosses category ally attacking in the same turn, or after the character performs 5 or more attacks in battle. And the great thing is about this is, because you're naturally going to be running at least one of these units from one of those categories, you can activate it immediately. So essentially, if you are going to run all these units that also have domains, which is kind of crazy, by the way, you're essentially just keeping the loop going. You can pop an Omega one. You could potentially pop an Int Broly one. Keep everyone boosted. Keep it going. Then use another Omega one. And just keep the support just flowing through the team. And then when you do pop it, Inhuman Deeds, Power Absorption, or GT Bosses category enemies and allies, 25% extra attack on top of all this extra support, by the way. And because the domain can be used immediately, it goes with the entrance animation and his standard support. So extreme class units are getting a ton of support from Omega. He's probably the best support unit, not even just the best extreme type support unit, probably one of the best support units we've ever seen in the game. And then increased damage received by superclass enemies and allies by 20%, plus an additional 10% for characters who also belong to the Earth Protecting Heroes, Fuse Fighters, or GT Heroes category as well. So SSJ4 Gogeta in that global Dokkan special battle, if you have Omega, he's going to be making sure that Gogeta is taking damage. His link skills are Brutal Beatdown, Big Bad Bosses, GT, Fear and Faith, Shadow Dragons, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. He's probably going to link really well with the brand new Nova. Is he? Maybe not, or maybe he's just not been added to this just yet. Actually does share 4 links with Rose, which is quite nice, especially because you can run them together. And he goes on Inhuman Deeds, Power Absorption, GT Bosses, Shadow Dragon Saga, Worldwide Chaos, Battle of Fate, and also Full Power. Now we're moving on to the best unit in the entire game. Animations, kit, hype, aura, everything a 10. And that is the SSJ4 Gogeta. He's leading GT Heroes with key +4, HP attack and defense +220. GT Heroes is now one of the best categories in the game. It just is. It is now one of the best categories in the entire game, because you have him as a lead and you'll be running 2 of them, and he's currently probably the best unit in the game. You have the Year 7 EZAs, who are still one of the better units in the game. This side banner GT Pan is amazing, probably the best side banner unit in the game. And then we just have options. The GT Super Saiyan EZAs, this guy The support he's going to be giving out to all of these units, by the way, is sensational. They have their boost right now, and from what I saw from the stream, they are looking very, very good. Saw Goku tank, I think, a super attack from Gogeta for about 484k, which is pretty impressive, considering how hard he's probably hitting. Even though it hasn't been revealed yet, again, like I've been saying, Fusions and Masu's EZA didn't get revealed until like a week later, so there's still a chance this guy does EZA here. I mean, also he couldn't, but I said there's still a chance. He's getting an EZA. We have the Super Saiyan Great Ape, Super Saiyan 3 Great Ape Kid GT Goku EZAing, she's EZAing, he's EZAing. It just all depends on how good they actually are. And I've ended up closing it. Let's reopen that. So yeah, GT Heroes, definitely one of the best categories in the game now. On 12 key, he's raising attack by 30% for 1 turn and has a 70% chance of greatly raising attack by 50% for 1 turn further. Which I think that as an SA effect is just crazy to me. Especially the 18 key version. On 18 keys, greatly raising attack by 50% for 4 turns and has a 70% chance of further massively raising attack for 1 turn, which is 100%. That means within a turn, if that 70% chance pops, you're looking at 150% attack raise on 18 key alone. And at any additionals, you could potentially look at an extra 80, which is nuts. So activate the entrance animation when there are another 2 or more GT hero category allies on the team. He'll have a guaranteed additional super and all attacks become crits for 1 turn. This means, right, because he doesn't really have any build up, this means as soon as you start, Gogeta is just doing damage. Like as soon as you start, damage. Crazy. Superclass allies, key +3 and defense of 70% for 4 turns, and he starts with key +3, 300% attack and defense, receives an additional key +1 per key throw obtained, attacks effective against all types, 50% chance to crit, guard, 50% damage reduction, and a guaranteed additional. And don't forget as well, he's also going to get the support from Carnival LSJ4 Goku, but that takes him up to 60% damage reduction. If you want to get fancy with it, you potentially have more if you decide to run Giant 8 Power instead. Just remember that, with also guard. So if you do get any dupes in him, probably a good idea to give him a lot of dodge. Then when attacking, he gains 300% extra attack. When receiving an attack, he gains 200% extra defense. And then receiving a super attack, he gets another 200% defense as well. Then receiving a Ki Blast super attack, which the majority of super attacks in the game are right now, he will also have a 70% chance to nullify and counter, and then have a guaranteed nullification and counter when HP is 70% or less. So when facing Ki Blast super attack enemies, you're looking at a ton of extra defense. You're looking at guard, damage reduction, extra damage reduction, and support from Carnival LSJ4 Goku. And you're looking at dodge or counter, nullifying counter, shall I say. And then, as I said, if you do gain any dupes in him, you probably want to give him some dodge, because he can already do everything else. After receiving 3 or more attacks in battle, he'll launch a guaranteed additional super starting from the character's next attack in turn. And after receiving 7 more attacks in battle, he'll gain Ki +4 and have guaranteed crit. As if he wasn't doing enough damage already. Then we have his active skill, which is the Dragon Fist, which is probably the best animation in the whole game I think we've ever seen. The callbacks to Blue Gogeta and everything are amazing. I've even seen comparisons to All Might from My Hero Academia, which is not something I expected to see on my bingo card today. But he'll massively raise attack temporarily, cause ultimate damage to the enemy, 70% attack and defense, and all attacks become crits for 1 turn. This can be activated starting from the next attacking turn after the character receives an attack. So again, you can use his active skill as early as turn 3 or turn 4, depending on where he starts on the rotation. Maybe a little bit later if he's in slot 7, but literally having it available on his next attack and turn is crazy. Link skills are Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Saiyan Raw, which they've finally given him, Shocking Speed, GT, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. He goes on GT Heroes, Fusion, Shadow Dragon Saga, Final Trump Card, Giant 8 Power, Time Limit, Accelerate Battle, Battle of Fate, Power Beyond the Super Saiyan, Fuse Fighters, Earth Protecting Heroes, and Kamehameha. He's on some stat categories. Fusion, GT Heroes, Shadow Dragon Saga, Giant 8 Power, Power Beyond the Super Saiyan, Earth Protecting Heroes, and Kamehameha. He's on some stacked categories. And the best thing is, he shares 7 out of 7 links with both versions of the Year 7 EZA. So that currently, to me, is probably going to be the best rotation in the entire game. How many links does he share with you? 6. Can you imagine that as a rotation? The Year 7 EZA. the new Carnival LSJ4 Gogeta, and then this guy. Beefy, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Probably the best kit in the entire game. I'd have to say probably one of the best units ever. Dare I say that? The best unit ever made is Carnival LSJ4 Gogeta. The best unit ever made. I said this about the 10th year anniversary Vegito, but is it now Gogeta? Who now drops in 29 minutes time. So not long left. I will be streaming though, by the way. So link down in the description. I'll even pin it in the comments for you if you want to see your boy stream his summons and also just rock through part 2. Come check it out. Come drop me a follow. Hope to see you guys there. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And once again, who you will be summoning on. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care of the rest of your day. And peace.